We understand the importance of quality.
Thank you.
Even though this show doesn't resemble those beliefs. Welcome to BnL Under Oath, the show where we get down to brass tacks and try to pin down your favorite breweries to get the real feelings for their beers. Now, would you please, for the record, state your name?
You bet. I'm Ron from Seedstock Brewery.
Now, could you please state the name of the business where we're currently sitting, for the record?
For the record, Seedstock Brewing Company.
And what is your current position in the company?
I guess I'm one of the owners, so I clean toilets and I brew a little and I sweep and I do marketing and accounting and finance and really anything that needs to be done.
It's a jack of many trades.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Bad at most things I do, but yeah, jack of many trades.
Bare minimum requirements met.
I'll let you taste the beer, then you tell me if it's good enough.
That is a fair assessment. Thank you, Ron. Can you please raise your glass? Now, do you pinky swear that you'll say something that mildly resembles a truthful statement today?
I solemnly swear to say something that mildly resembles the truth today.
Excellent. That's good enough for us. You're now officially under oath on BnL.
Okay.
Now, first off, please tell us what beer we are enjoying today.
Yeah, this is one of our newest beers. It's a Pullet Mavy, which is a Czechoslovakian-style beer. Mm-hmm. Pullet Mavy just means half dark. It is a half dark Czech-style lager.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. Describe, I guess, the building of the beer. Since every other time I've done this, it's been an IPA.
It's a half dark Czech lager, and it's real traditional. We use all Saaz hops. It's mostly Pilsner malt. We add a little bit of chocolate type malt, a little bit of caramel malt, okay. But I actually call it liquid bread.
Are you sure there weren't any pastries involved in the making of this beer? You did say it's bready.
I think I ate pastries, during the making of the beer, but
pastries fueled the production.
Of the beer, yeah.
Now, between us gals, how many brews does it contain?
At least 1.5.
And how many hazies does it rate on a juice scale?
I gotta say 0 hazies on the juice scale.
You really can actually see right there.
I'm happy for you to recognize that.
You clearly prefer more traditional style beers. Can you kind of explain where your desire to, brew these kinds of beers and what it's like in this market here in Denver?
Sure.
Of course, for the record.
Yeah, absolutely. So the term seed stock is an old farming term. You harvested grains, and then you set some aside and you replanted them next year, your seed stock. When my ancestors from the Czech Republic immigrated 150, 175 years ago to Nebraska, the first thing they did is after they got their homestead and their farm set up is they put breweries in their barns. And so the beers that we brew at Seedstock are a real tip of the cap back to them. We do a lot of Czech styles, but we also do, a lot of real simple, German styles. Simple as in not complicated tasting, not necessarily simple to brew, but just real back to basics beers.
Sure.
And that whole concept, sort of flows through everything that we do at Seedstock.
Has your clientele been like a lot of regulars, or you still get some of the adventurous types that are coming here to check out? A little bit different.
Sure.
It's interesting to word it this way, but I feel like it's appropriate that they're trying different fare, even though these are very traditional style beers, just because it's not something you see very commonly. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, in fact, we get people that come in here that say, I like coming to Seedstock because they're beers that I can't get anywhere else in town. I appreciate that.
You've had the clientele that's growing, even though it's very similar. I mean, do people still ask, you gonna make a hazy, or do they just kind of know this is not what you're gonna do?
I like East Coast IPAs. I like that big, similar to like a Belgian beer. I like that real pineapple, flavor, that juicy thing. But yeah, that's just not us. We've had a few people say, you don't have any East Coast IPAs, or one person, I can remember specifically said, you guys should brew some sours. And so I think people are still thinking craft brewery, and you go into a craft brewery and they must do everything. And so we still get some of that, but our locals and our regulars, no, they want to try the Pullet Mavy. They want to try a Doppelbock. I mean, they drink our Pilsner, our Czech lagers.
Do you think, kind of in a certain way, that people consider the term craft to be related to almost like extreme beers? So when they see a again, like you said, a simple beer, which isn't necessarily an accurate term. They see something that doesn't have a bunch of pizzazz going on.
Right,
they assume it's not craft.
Yeah, that's part of what we're doing here at Seedstock, is just to say that craft doesn't have to be complicated. Craft doesn't have to be fancy. I take it back to food a lot. You know, my grandmother used to make this sloppy, delicious breakfast in a cast iron skillet that was, you know, sausage, eggs, and hash browns. That was craft. You know, that was made with a lot of care, with great ingredients, and of course love from Grandma, but that was craft.
We definitely appreciate you sharing your thoughts on this topic, Ron. The record will show that you shared these thoughts with authority, grace, and just a bit of booger in your nose.
Okay.
Thank
you. Yeah.
Over there.
Got it?
No, but you know what? The cameras won't pick it up. I just see it.
Maybe it fell in the beard?
No, it's not in there either. It's just, I think we're good.
Okay,
Yeah, I think we'll get through this.
Good.
Now, we have a few final questions that we want to do to wrap this up. When was the last time you drank a beer with glitter?
Actually, I just had one about 10 minutes ago.
Really?
No, I've never had a beer with glitter at all. No.
What animal do you believe must be milked to get lactose-infused beer?
It's either an armadillo or a liger.
Do you believe in brute strength, the concept that brute IPAs actually act as a natural PCP?
I've had PCP, but I've never had a brute IPA. No, I've never had PCP either.
So with all the trends that are kind of floating around the pool, if you will, which trend do you think is the trendiest?
I gotta be honest with you, I don't really follow the trend, so I really don't know.
So you can say you almost actively just don't even look at them, because if you're not gonna make them, why bother?
I like a hazy IPA. I think they're really good, but yeah, I don't pay a whole lot of attention to that.
Okay. The record will show you don't like to read. That's cool.
Exactly, or can't.
What was the most embarrassing trend you partook in as a child?
Parachute pants as a teenager.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty good, and no.
Is there an embarrassing trend at all that you partook in like last week? Or are you just devoid of participating in trends at all these days?
You got me on that. I don't even own a pair of Chuck Taylors, and I think everybody has Chuck Taylors. Yeah. Seriously, a trend is I started watching Game of Thrones last year.
The last question is, what is the trendiest thing you've ever done that you're not ashamed of?
I'm not ashamed of. The trendiest thing I've
Throughout
done.
your entire life?
My heart says go with a mullet because I really thought it was badass. And there's some of me that when I see old pictures and I see that mullet, and I might have even had a perm with the mullet, it was...
They call it permlet.
It was pretty
that
good.
Has a name.
It was pretty good. But you know, I'm gonna go with, I used to have the tank tops that were mesh, you know, with the holes with the holes in them. That looks pretty good.
Well, Ron, well, thank you very much. I appreciate you taking this time to share this information and let us learn a little bit more about Seedstock.
Pleasure's all mine.
I am now going to go to the bathroom and make sure you didn't let me do this entire interview with a booger in my nose.
There you go. Hey,
but
I would have told you.
I believe you would. For the record, let the record show. I believe you. Well, thank you very much again.
Cheers.